Welcome back into the 38th National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America, coming to you from the Orange County Convention Center here in Orlando, Florida. I'm Michael Carrottenuto, and I'll be joined shortly by Jesse Graham, who a 13-year Air Force vet, rugby player, had a double overtime loss to the Team X, the gray team, taking on Mercury, who's red in the red jerseys. He's introducing the players right now. But we definitely want to thank First Nation, their first year involved in the Veterans Wheelchair Games, and they're sponsoring the quad rugby. So they, again, we talked to Steve Baugh earlier in the week, and it's been eye-opening for him. Great job here by First Nation sponsoring the quad rugby. And don't forget, this week's live stream, fans, have been brought to you by USAA, the official media and technology sponsor of the 38th National Veterans Wheelchair Games. So as Jesse is introducing the teams, and you'll see him as we see on the court, the Team X, who lost to Mercury on the first day of the tournament, but now they're introducing, as we see, well, gold medalist in softball, got to play softball this year, took the gold medal in table tennis, Ryan Lindstrom, a bully as he's known as. And, Scott Sevron coming out, and he was in the pool yesterday. Talked to him. If you caught our swimming stream, which we're bummed if you didn't, but you can go to wheelchairgames.org and you can check out the replay. But yeah, so they've competed against each other before, and Scott's saying rugby's gotten so much more competitive, and obviously, again, they seed by classes, and Jesse and I will get into that. But Scott, they call Ryan bully because when he had enlisted, he had the white spot on the side of his head. They would call him a bullseye. And Scott told me that he actually got struck by lightning in the same spot where Ryan has that Ryan has that white mark. So again, very very interesting. And as well, Jesse's announcing the teams for the crowd. I will actually go through it too. We see the gray team, like I said, Ryan Lindstrom there was number 13, Scott Sevron number 1. Gerald Bartles, number 3. Michael Luckett, number 12. Chet Miller is number 11. And then Robert Fecto is number 10. Number 4, Henry Sawyer, Navy vet. Desmond Wilson, number 2. And Edgar Machado is number 5 for the red team. Yes, Chris Hall, the Army vet, saw him playing the other day. They get into this game. So Chris Hall is number 13, and this is the tradition they start with, as that's how they get ready. You'll hear a lot of colliding, and that's their let's get going as they do that. But the rest of the lineup for red, Chris Hall, like I said, number 13. Jeremiah Butler, number 5. Army vet Terrence Smith. I can't believe Terrence Smith is over 50. I said it the other day. I'll get Jesse's thoughts on this as well. Brett Smith, number 4. Paul Mann is number 3. Number 10, Davis Celestine, also swam yesterday. Number 12, Seth Thomas. And number 1 is James Trozope, and number 21, Joel Rodriguez, also swam yesterday. So Jesse, great job on the intros there. Thanks for joining us today, my friend.
So you said Smitty is over 50. He's actually 58, almost pushing 60 here soon.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, the fact, and I've said this a million times the last 2 years, but the fact, obviously not really having the use of your core and getting used to everything. I mean, talking to Ryan, talking to Chris, even talking to Sean Castle, and just even the obviously the Super G. We did that at 9:30. Those athletes, but I mean, playing sports, you're always thinking of something. And Ryan said to me something the other day that it becomes second nature. Well, this becomes second nature for you too, but there's a lot more steps that have to become second nature.
It is, and I've learned wheelchair sports are basically all based on endurance, and so you have the endurance, and if you look, I mean, there's plenty of marathon runners, plenty of endurance athletes that go well into their 50s and 60s, and so it's not much different with wheelchair rugby.
So 4 8-minute quarters. I'm bad at always getting this out in the beginning. 4 8-minute quarters. There's a 40-second shot clock. You have 10 seconds to inbound, 12 seconds to get across half court, and well, look at this. Right away, we get a goal
from Schmitty.
Yeah, 58, almost pushing 60, and man. Well, first of all, I couldn't believe it because he doesn't look that, but the way he moves, man. You played against him. What's it like?
You know, he pushes you still, and then I sit there and I'm happy I have a step on him, and then I think about it and I'm like, it's not much to brag about when you're sitting there saying a man that's 58 and I'm 34 and I'm just a little bit faster, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, that is, I mean, I was just in shock. Yeah, the other day when Ryan was telling me that, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. But yeah, to see all you guys do it. And so how long have you been playing rugby?
I'm about to go into my 4th season.
Nice.
I've been injured 4.5 years now, so started pretty much right away, and I love the game.
Oh, and well, here's the big goal scorer as Severon runs it down. Yeah. Saw him do a lot of this. He said he never thought he would be playing with Ryan, but as competitive, I mean, in the 4th year, you've probably seen a change in the 4 years because, I mean, all the guys have said it that I've talked to. It's just gotten more competitive. I know you're mixed by obviously class, and you have to have certain classes on your team, high and low point, but he's like, it got so much more competitive. He goes, I can't believe I'm playing with Ryan.
Well, yeah, my first game here, well, Utah was my first games.
Okay.
And we had basically one seasoned high pointer per team. And,
okay.
And that's it. And basically in these games, I think every team's got at least 2 seasoned high point ball carriers.
Okay.
So as you see on this team, on red you got Chris and Schmitty. On gray you have Ryan and Scott. And then you have mid-pointers like Brett, right there, number 4 in the red, who can still push pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I was going to say, oh, look at this, making a push there.
Oh.
Robert Fecto. Smitty catches up to him, trying to get the jump ball there, but look at that. Lindstrom, nice secondary break. Yeah. Nice pass by Fecto.
Yeah, Bobby plays on my team back in Virginia.
Oh, nice. And so you play in the season too, so it's a few months long, right?
Yeah. We've usually first tournament we find something in September and go till March.
Nice.
So and we practice year round nowadays.
Oh.
So.
I was gonna say, even from last year being my first games, Jesse, to this year, and like you said, I mean, a high pointer, and it seemed like there were some teams that just had even maybe the one high pointer last year, and then you see 2, but now this year again, it's gotten really competitive. As Chris Hall likes to say hi to everybody on the court. He likes to greet everybody. He told me.
Oh yes. Yeah, me. This is the first year. 2 years ago, I flipped him. Last year, he flipped me. So
that's right. I remember
the
that.
First year
yes.
we haven't.
Yes. Because and I was going to ask him that the other day, and I was like, I don't want to accuse him if he didn't, but I remember somebody got flipped last year, and yeah, so he did get you.
Yeah, he got me last year. I got him the year before.
Well, 3-2 the score. So red team leading in Fecto. Look at that, getting it up to Lindstrom. And the trapping. You got Ryan and Chris have taught me so much about
it's a must
the
right
trapping.
Here.
And
it's a little harder with these lineups in right here, at least to trap red team, for Gray to really trap the red team, because any one of the red players can catch the ball and move with it. So they can't really key on Chris, whereas you'll see the red team keying on Ryan and Scott Severin, and they will try to trap those two and basically put the game in Bobby Fecto and number 5 Mooch's hands.
Yeah, Edgar Machado, and yeah, by all means, because you heard Chris giving you guys saying all your nicknames. So
yeah.
Yes, yeah. So it is Edgar Machado on the court with Robert Fecto, and then Scott Severon and Ryan Lindstrom for Team X from Mercury. Chris Hall, Terrence Smith, Joel Rodriguez, and Brett Smith, and yeah, they can. Well, it's a rematch because red team got him the first day, so a little extra motivation for Team X over Team Mercury here. Ooh, a nice cut off there by Severon.
Oh, he's got him locked. They push Bobby off the court there. So
that's a penalty, right?
Yep, penalty goal. Or no, they're taking him to the box. They didn't give him the penalty goal. I wasn't paying attention enough, but his back, if the ball isn't facing the goal, they don't give it a penalty goal. It's an actual penalty.
That's right. That's what Chris was saying the other. Yeah, you have to be. The ball has to be facing it, and yeah, that's great defense there. The goal line for the defense and the sidelines, because every sport the defense never gets any rules. Any rules in favor of them, I should say, Jesse.
Yeah, this definitely has rules to favor the defense, but it's a scoring game. I mean, as Chris said yesterday, turnovers are golden, and man, he's right. I mean, every turnover counts. That's what really wins the games. And you know, if you limit them and you get as many as you can, you know, I guess it's like any other sport. But yeah, it makes or breaks a team.
Knocked out there as Sevron will inbound, and he might go deep, but he gets it to Machado, gives it right back to Sevron, and that quick turn, look at him.
He's fast for a big man.
That's what I told him yesterday at the pool. I go, I know you probably hear it all the time, being a big man, you move very, the over and back.
Yeah. You got to be careful right there coming at the line, and I did it yesterday. You got to use the timeout right there. You got to use the timeout instead of getting a turnover.
Yeah, especially when Chris explaining having the patience if somebody's coming to half court and they're not paying attention. Somebody's coming over to trap. Yeah. Give them that little bump, little over and back.
And funny story is on the clinic day, I went head-to-head with Scott, and it did not turn out in my favor. We both hit each other full speed coming down, and I ended up in his lap. So.
Yeah, again, being bigger, and again, once you guys, again, like I said, second nature, and I was saying it to Ryan as well. Once you get going, guys, the high pointers you can see with that speed, man, it is. That's why we hear the biggest collisions here. So Red leading 5-3 is Chris trying to get across. Oh, and able to sneak through, making it 6-3. Ryan Lindstrom inbounds right away to Scott Severn, and now he's got Lindstrom breaking up the court.
There you go.
Nope. Yeah, I was talking to Gabriel before the game, Gabe, and even Chris was saying to Ryan, like, what, might not be the fastest, but even Chris saying his angles have always been the best in setting picks and everything. He does his job very, very well.
Yes, he does.
Well, from breaking up the court, everybody has a different job at getting the picks, and look at Smitty there. Oh, well, Scott gets in front of him, and then bounce pass to Chris Hall, who beat the trap down, makes it 7-4. 5:07 left to go here in the first. So, Jesse, at this rate, it could be a 55-50 game, right?
Yeah, it very well could go over 50.
Well, Scott beats the press there, too, is in the game for Red. We have number 12, Seth Thomas, also number 3, Paul Mann checked in.
But you'll see as they start to bring in some of the less experienced players, they'll slow the game down a little bit to try to keep the score close on either side.
Because yes, I did not explain. Forgot to remind everybody about that in the beginning. Everybody plays, which point of the games, and some novices and have added to teams. And like we said, it's by class, everything from 0.5 up to 3. Well, 3.5 is the highest, right?
3.5
is the highest
lineup. 0 is actually the lowest.
Oh, 0, okay.
You can have a 0.5 who hits over the age and becomes a 0.
Okay, I gotcha. So, and look at that pass.
Nice.
And Lindstrom's there, and Smitty just says, okay, I'll back right in. Again, not getting the trap as Scott taking off down court. Ryan bounces it off of Chris Hall. They didn't turn around, and look at Scott chasing it down.
That was a great bounce for Gray there.
What's the old adage? Sometimes better to be lucky than good?
Yeah, better to be lucky than good.
But everybody very good here. But, yeah, still it's nice lucky bounce there. Makes it 8-6. Smith gets cross court.
See, and now you'll see because Red has two of they don't have their best lineup points-wise and everything, and they're slowing the game down, trying to basically take advantage of the clock. They got a lead. They want to just slow the game down and make Gray wear themselves out.
Chris trying to get in. Mr. Fecto stops him. Dropping it back off to Mann.
And we got a leave in the court on Ryan trying to stop Hall there.
So he gets the goal, makes it 9-6. As Fecto gets the pass from Lindstrom. It's back on the court, but Chris Hall, you let him back on, but barely.
Well, you have to let the player on. You have to let his wheels. They have rear casters; those don't count. But your first 4 wheels have to make it on the court.
Gotcha.
If not, it's a technical foul, and you end up in the box for not letting the player on.
Yeah, the bully ended up, as they take a timeout there, the bully ended up in the box a few times the other day. They got a win. I said, really? Really? And he's like,
Yeah, he actually, I think that was against us when he did. He smacked me a couple times on there, swinging at the ball.
Jesse played on the Apollo team with Ryan Major.
We got 5 guys on the court here for Gray. That's There we go.
There, yeah.
Straighten that out.
I was like, that's Chet Miller. He's like, hey, you know,
He didn't check in
playing
yet.
basketball. I was like, a little 5-on-4. It's okay.
Make up for that lead real fast.
9-6, Red leading as Lindstrom has the ball. Look at Chris Hall taking an angle. Angle, but he was well inside the cone. Can't get. You want to beat him, but you learned. I guess that's one of the things you learn real quick. Don't angle too much towards the cone. They bump you into the cone.
You right into it.
No goal.
No goal, and it's.
Frustrating thing is no goal. The other frustrating is all that work and to get no goal.
I mean, the goal is, as a player, use as much of the court as you can to your advantage.
Right.
So if you're on defense, use the sideline. One of the things I like to do is try to bait people to an over and back and get them coming up and hit them right as they're hitting that line and get over and back.
So where would you say, I mean, you said your 4th year, but from your 1st year, as Lindstrom thought Scott Severon was going to keep going to the far side of the court. He launched it down there, but it bounces out. It'll be a turnover. But the difference between, I'm not going to say your first game, but your 1st year is actually, we'll check out the inbounds here.
Yeah, it's just miscommunication there. But
the difference from your, first few months, 1st year into now, and how you see things.
Oh, I mean, most of us grew up as athletes here, most of the guys in these games, and you grow up in your there goes Ryan to the box.
There's the bully with the foul.
Yeah, reaching in there. But answering your question, most of us grew up playing team sports, and you share in team sports. You pass the ball, and all of a sudden you come into rugby, and they tell you you're a high pointer. You do not give the ball away. You're supposed to hold on to it, be selfish. And
it is tough to get used to. I can imagine
takes a while.
Yeah, defenders come over, you're like,
and you're sitting there going, I got the hands, I can throw it. I'm one of the guys, but the other guys aren't, don't have the hands to catch always. And so there's definitely a learning curve there.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about to Ryan, and especially Chris, even like Ryan the last 2 years is, even with the lower pointers, again, in games like this where it's split by class, but, that first day getting together and, seeing if, obviously a chest pass is better, or if bounce it to them so they see it coming to them, it's an open lane, they can bring it in better.
And that's the thing is you don't know, 0.5s aren't all created equal, 1s aren't all created equal. You got Joel over here on red who catches really well.
Yep.
You got Chet on here that catches really well. They're 1s. And then you have 0.5s and 2s that can't catch as well as them. So
right. So it goes to functionality, but some functions on, like you're saying, lower point,
some
lower
just
level
hand-eye
classes.
coordination that's natural to a person, and some that's not.
Oh, whistle over there is now. Is Ryan still in the
and you'll see
box.
Ryan, when he gets out, he'll probably call for an inbound just to basically, because if not, Paul Mann's going to lock him out right there and hold him up. And then you're doing a point exchange because you got Ryan who's a 3 and I think Paul's a 2. So it benefits Red to keep him locked out.
Severon with the inbound off the back of Smitty's chair now gets it up to Edgar Machado, rolls it in front of him. Ooh, Machado just couldn't bring it in. Smith comes back. Ooh, nice cut back there. So he's in for a minute. They haven't scored yet, or he would have been out of the penalty box.
He's going to take his time. They're going to take their time here and make sure Paul's set up over on Ryan. And there you go. You see Ryan call for the inbound. So
that's one thing I learned. All of a sudden, I see your hand go up. I was like, what's going on?
Well, it's kind of like class. You got to raise your hand,
Exactly. Yeah, look at that. Severon stopping Smitty, but Chris Hall will say thank you very much on the power play there and just rolls it across. But you're right. Lower points, catching their breath, get the goal.
Yep.
But Scott Severon says, you know what, I'll make up for that and just get down the court.
Well, yeah, you got Gray who's down, so they're going to push as hard as they can, and Red's going to try to slow the game down. So.
And that's what Ryan said the other day, too, is about turnovers. He goes, what usually happens after one turnover, another turnover? But I said, as an athlete, you get the ball, you're like, oh, let's go. And then all of a sudden, it's like, if you just take a deep breath in any sport, kind of maybe step back. I mean, if something's very open, fine, but you step back, don't bounce the ball or don't throw the ball around. Just set it up and use the 40 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, I watched our replay of the bronze medal game, and, we had four back-to-back turnovers on both teams where nobody scored. It was ugly rugby. The clock's running out here. He needs to get in there. Call the timeout. Call the timeout. Call the timeout.
Oh.
Ah, they didn't do it.
They didn't do it. Wow. So they run the clock. 1:11 left to go, but don't get the goal. So Red Team X has a chance to get within 2 of Mercury here.
So if you get if you're down that low and you call a timeout, you get a reset of 15 seconds on the clock. Which so you get down to 1, you call a timeout, lets you to reset up and have a shot at a goal instead of a turnover.
Fecto going down the court.
Pass to Bobby here.
Oh, look at that. Tips it over to Scott. Look at that. I was going to say he meant to do that little roll pass there.
I don't know if he really meant to do it, but worked out in their favor there. That actually worked out better than him catching it in reality.
So now Ryan coming over, trying to get to Chris, and look at Chris just weaving. Ooh, didn't cross though. Got to get over in the 12 seconds, and he does just that. 28 left now on the shot clock. Oh, nice bounce. Ooh, and the pass there, and Lindstrom, look at that. I didn't know if he could get over there, Jesse. I guess it doesn't surprise you by now, but gave Terrence a nice little bump there, and the pass goes skipping out of bounds.
Yeah, it wasn't the best pass by Chris, and yeah, Lindstrom definitely played some good defense there to get Smitty looking at a different direction and couldn't reach for the ball.
And again, with point or not, with not having again the full function, like you're saying, sometimes it's just that little bump that makes a difference, even to the obviously the higher level guys, the higher point guys.
Yeah, it makes. I mean, I have pretty good hands for quad, and there's still things that I struggle with. So yeah, it's.
And getting slammed into like demolition derby definitely makes it a little bit harder.
Throws you off in the middle of trying to catch.
Trying to trap Scott, but look at him fighting through it. So it goes up to Fecto, and this time he catches it, and look at that, the pitch. Terrence Smith is there. Ooh, nice cut off there too by Paul Mann.
There's a bad pass right there, and
it's a turnover.
You got to have the pass in front of him. You can't have it behind. And now you're going to see Chris slow the game down because he's going to want to run the clock down for the last goal here.
And the possession arrow too. Oh wait,
I'm not sure who has the possession arrow.
Well, Gray does. Yeah,
Gray has possession arrow, but regardless, you still want that last goal.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Both Chris and Ryan were very big on that.
Yes.
You'd love to have the possession arrow and get the last goal if possible, as he gets the goal with 5.1 seconds left to go.
See Red drop back just to make sure they don't have a long ball here, like that.
Turnover. Oh, just behind.
He may get it.
Oh, Scott gets to it. Can he get it? Oh, and it doesn't. Clock doesn't start. And look at that. And he breaks and make it 12-10. They get the
ball and they just got the last goal. So I mean.
And Chris was a big supporter of that.
2-point swing right there.
Mason. Yeah, see, Mason, volunteered. And believe me, Jesse, I'm very glad you're here. Yesterday, I was like, I'll do it, because Scrappy said he was going to try to make the game. So I was like, I get it. You're doing stuff. And he's obviously being a new dad, too. Duran's a cute kid, man.
Yeah, he is.
But he said he'd do it. But Mason's like, they want me to coach. But he's like, Jesse will do it. You didn't ask.
I got volunteered for this, yeah.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. The end of the first quarter, 12-10, but. So, I mean, talking about the 2-point swing, and Jesse Graham joining me, 13-year Air Force, vet now, but 13 years in the Air Force. You guys do get picked on the most. I work with Mike Gilbow on the slalom and some softball, and even Andy Burton, who obviously did well and got a gold medal in softball, and I know said in weightlifting he did 300. I'm like, yeah, like day at the office, huh?
Yeah, well, it's.
But he said you Air Force vets always get picked on the most, but Andy
let me know. But there's nothing better than the Air Force guys beating the other guys, because. When these Marines and they talk trash, and it's like, well, you just got beaten in track by me, didn't you?
And Andy always wanted me when I sit with you guys. He reminded everybody that he goes, every other branch is jealous that us in the Air Force scored way higher in the ASVAB than they could dream of. So,
and we got treated the best. We get treated the best. Yes. I'll agree to that part too.
Not my words. The words from Andy. I'm just passing it on. But yes, First Nation. Sponsoring quad rugby here at the 38th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games. Their first year involved, and I was in talking to them. They got the loud sport and the one that everybody seems to crowd around, because you guys definitely it doesn't lack in excitement over here, Jesse.
No, it does not. And people tend to congregate around rugby. They hear the noise and they find their way over to it.
Yeah, last year when you got, yeah, that's right, because it was you when you got dumped. I remember we were doing. I was like, oh no! I was like, oh man! And I was like, and he just, kind of had a little smile. You looked up at Chris, had a smile on your face. I was like, okay, it's on now. As and Jesse Graham joining me, but yeah, I mean, you had a smile on your face. But yeah, you guys go down. The amazing thing to me is how fast you guys just, I mean, you just have to get help up, but just pop up, and the looks on your face, how mad you are, the fact that you lost the balance and hit the court.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd say it's more frustration that it's a turnover when it happens and you let yourself get in that position. And you just got to smile and have fun with it and realize it's just part of the game, and that's the great part about the game.
So for Red Team, I know they have the 12-10 lead, and obviously Chet Miller now legally checked into the game.
Yep.
He's across it. But what are some things for the Red Team? I know we're talking substitutions, but little things you've noticed that working and or maybe where they can adjust.
Well, they're doing really good with their substitutions as far as bringing one of their inexperienced players in at a time. Whereas you have Gray, who's been bringing in 2 inexperienced players at a time, which kind of throws them off. Now, it may pay off for Gray at the second half if they well, there goes Severin just trying to push his way in.
I was going to say, if he can stay on the court,
Yeah.
that's a huge thing. It's Michael Luckett, number 12, checked in for Gray. Now we also have, or Team X, sorry.
Steve Bartles as well.
Yeah. So Bartles checks in, and Joel Rod, you're saying, for a lower point, his hands in passing are really good.
Yes.
I remember watching him last year, and he, but yeah, even setting the screens, I gave him the compliment the other day of calling him annoying. But it's a compliment because defensively, you think basketball, if a guy's really annoying in football, anything, they're doing their job.
No, he does his job great. He's definitely annoys the high pointers and gets in your way. And here comes Severin, and Severin's locked up right here. So this is one of those things.
Taking a break. Oh, and the pass goes long. Luckett got bumped by Chris Hall. So yeah, Chris Hall and Jeremiah Butler, number 5, checked in for Mercury. Also Davis Celestine doing a great job swimming. You guys, like I said, you guys are smart. Stay in the water, into the events. Because getting in and out, as we understand, is tough, like I was telling you. But with the weather, man, staying in the water, it feels great, yeah.
Oh, it felt amazing yesterday in that pool.
So Davis Celestine and Joel Rodriguez, the 4 on for Mercury. Again in the red jerseys, X in the gray jerseys is Chet Miller, Scott Severon.
And you'll see now they're gonna
Luckett and Bartles.
They're probably gonna double to triple Severon until they have 2 guys lock him up, and once they have 2 on him, one will peel off.
So strategy though, let me ask you this, Jess, something like this. I mean, obviously when him and Ryan are out there, Ryan can inbound having good function, but would it be beneficial for Scott to call for the inbound?
Well, in this case,
it was Luckett just had it, but.
And Luckett, I think this is Luckett's really his second year, so he's coming along, and he's made vast improvements from when I first saw him play the first time. So.
Oh, look at that long pass there.
But answering your question, Severon inbounding right here is. Unless he can do a give and go, is not that good, because if he gets locked out coming right in, right now he's their high pointer, he's their ball handler, and you do not want to end up in the position where you're locked out right away.
He gets away from the trap there as Chet Miller inbounds and going to the sideline. All they have to do is knock him out. Got to get it over before the 12. He doesn't. Look at Chet Miller. Gets the bounce. Joel Rodriguez had the angle, gives him a little tap. Said, you got me this time. So that makes it 15-12. A minute and 21 seconds into the second quarter. So, okay, so we said, Red Team, their little adjustments. What about Gray? I mean, I know it goes to substitutions and getting the 8 minutes as Rodriguez will chase that down and cross the line, but what about for Team X? What can
right
they do?
Now, what you're going to want to do, just on sheer speed, is you're going to want to try to put the ball in Davis's hands. He's a 1-5. Joel's a 1, but Davis has slightly worse catching ability, slightly worse hands than Joel. If I was playing Ron Red, that'd be the goal here, because you got Jeremiah, who's a 3, Chris, who's a 2-5. So you're gonna try to put it into the lower pointer's hands and go that way.
He's gonna have to take a timeout. Oh,
10 no touch. Well. And this is where you either use your timeout right there,
yep,
and it's Better to have a timeout than a turnover.
Because it's 4 timeouts and 2 bench timeouts.
Yes. And
for the whole game, yes.
Yep. And you can't use a bench unless the play is dead already.
Right, right.
So
the turnover here now, and Chris Hall has the ball. Bartles trying to cut him off, hit him into the cone.
Ooh, no goal. Chet Miller had that.
Nice angle by Chet. Chris not agreeing with the call. No, you guys not agreeing with the call. That's weird, Jesse.
Yeah, that never happens. We're always compliant with the refs. I don't know what Chris is thinking.
Saw the angle, but he gets hit by Bartles. And
ooh, it was close. It was close. Because if your 2 front wheels going before you hit the cone.
I gotcha, yeah.
So it was a close one there.
Yeah. Well, Scott gets the ball now and able to weave through. Trying to cut the ball off. And well, Michael gives him a little bit of a screen there. Oh, and Joel comes in, but Scott gets across. They needed that, keeping it within 3, 16-13.
And Gray's doing a pretty good job right now, keeping it close.
And inbound it to Chris, and again, just see everything becoming second nature. And I've said to Ryan, I mean, I know it's happened before, and he said the same thing. He goes, the first time your hands get hit, you learn real quick that, you know. But guys like Mason that have, I mean, Ryan's got long arms too, but guys like Mason that obviously have really long arms, sometimes like it's almost down to the floor when he's going. I'm like, I'm surprised he doesn't get dinged more. Not that I'm obviously rooting for it, but just to get the hands out of the way, you learn real quick.
I'm 5'7", trying to throw over Mason is just,
yeah,
it's really annoying.
Yes, he can lean back and he'll throw it, and that's what Ryan said too. Is like you try to get in front of him, but if he gets that space, forget it. As a turnover there, and Chris Hall goes back in. Making it 18-13
spreading
now.
the lead a little bit now. And
yes, look at nice throw in there by Chet Miller inbounds.
You're going to see he's probably going to want to go for Chet here.
Yeah, he does. And look at that. Oh, Chet. Look at that.
He's
nice job.
Half.
Yeah, and he got right as he got to it.
This is where you use patience right here. Chet.
Oh, look at that. Michael Luckett gets to it.
He gets there. Get it back to Chet.
15 on the shot clock. Scott still locked up.
And they got a 3-on-2. If they do this right with 3-on-2, it'll, there we go, Chet scores.
Nice. Yeah, because you want to take away, obviously, the high point man and Scott. You leave him, because last year I was like, why doesn't he just, like, push their chair out? But then Chris is like, Ryan's like, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah,
that would be, for some, it would obviously be way easier than for others.
Yeah, yeah. Trust me, I think some of us wish they could let us do that. But,
yeah. Sure, in your leagues, obviously, when you're playing on teams and
you'll see guys that sneak in, see if refs are looking, and they'll
act like they're adjusting in their seat, right?
They'll give a little bit of a push when somebody's not looking.
19-14, and look at this time, Scott inbounding the ball to Chet. Oh, is Chet called for the foul on Davis? I know you can't push away. Oh man, because I know you can't push away. Ryan said the one you put the arm in there, if they push away, it's a penalty.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And
to me, that's a human nature thing. Like, if you make contact with a person, I get it. I get there needs to be rules. I'm not saying it should be no holds barred, Jesse. But at the same time, like if you come at me, my reaction is to just to put it out there to defend it.
And the thing is, you can't actually put your arm out there. You just can't put it into theirs.
I got you.
So you can lift your arm out and give a buffer. That way it gives them more chance to hit you. But if they have their hand on the ball or something like that, you can't hit your hand into their arm.
Right.
At that point, it's a foul. But
Scott gets the goal there. Now look at Davis getting across court. Now he's got Joel up front, but smart play there. Like you said, be patient, didn't rush it, didn't try to throw it up to Joel. And Scott cuts Chris off, and now he gets trapped. And a jump ball.
And a jump ball is kind of like a half a possession because now they lose it going into the next quarter, but they get the jump ball now to try to get the point now. So.
Yep, just like college basketball, rotating possession.
So they don't lose the ball, but they just got it. So that actually, in that position, it gained them a possession right here.
Stay the same direction. Stay same direction.
So the shot clock, heard the ref saying, set to reset to 20.
Yeah.
But if you call a timeout too before you cross, if you're not going to cross half court, the 40-second shot resets, right, to 40.
No. 40-second shot does not. No, your 12 seconds coming
your 12
across
seconds reset.
Resets.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
The only time you'll see a 40-second reset is a penalty. If somebody had, you know, no, they didn't call it on Davis. He's not in the box. But yeah, if you get a penalty, they'll reset it to your 40.
Scott trying to force the jump ball with Jeremiah. Oh, nice pass there. Jeremiah very smooth there to Chris Hall. Makes it 20-15.
That's one of, you know, I was saying selfishness is one of the hard things to learn, and patience is the other thing, because you get the ball and 12 seconds is a lot longer than you think when you first start playing the game to get across that half court, and all you're thinking about is I just need to get the ball across half court.
So we get a timeout. A replay here is, look at that nice pass to Chris as he just turns forward. Joel, again, the traffic annoyer in front of the net. As you see Chris Hall right there. Well, Jesse Graham, well, and bronze medalist. I'm sorry, you won the bronze medal in this.
We did.
You guys held on to beat Enterprise and Mason's team, and I know as I was teasing you before.
In the end.
Yes. I mean, one turnover here or there, and definitely made it interesting. But yeah, we were teasing you before, saying, oh, Chris was kind of picking on. I'm like, oh, he's excited. He's in a medal game. I'm like, come on now. No, but yeah, I mean, with playing with Ryan Major too. I mean, again. Everybody, you guys all have amazing stories, but like to what he's overcoming, I mean, to be that dominant in this sport.
Yeah, he plays up in Maryland, Baltimore, so we're at a lot of the same tournaments. We actually scrimmage every once in a while and have fun, and he started a year before me, so we've kind of come up together a little bit, and he's a great guy. But
yeah, I call him big time. Next time you see him, just remind him he's big time, because a few times he's supposed to join us, he's like, oh, I totally forgot, but I'm like, that's all right.
Well, he had a little bit of a TBI with his injury, and his memory is not always the best.
Nah, great guy though. He jumped on with us last year the second time, and I was teasing him, but now this year, I mean, and you guys went on. He had the nice flexing pose during the medal ceremony. He's not a character. I got to get him out of his shell, Jesse.
Not at all.
20-16 is back in the game is Brett Smith. Brett Smith, along with Terrence Smith, Chris Hall, and number 1 in the game, that's James Trozope, Marine vet. It's funny how you guys always choose Ryan the nice banter / trash talking between the branches, like I was saying. But on the court you get along well. But you know, when the game's over afterwards, as I'm sure it goes back to the norm.
Yeah, I think we all have our preference on branch. And preference on the one we want to pick on.
I stay out of it. Oh, Michael Luckett, can he get there? Look at that. Oh! And he gets it. Look at that. Wow, what a play. I'd have a smile on my face, too.
It's under control if the ball's pinned to the wheel.
Yep. Chris taught me that. I didn't realize that. I didn't know if I thought you had to literally have it in control in your lap, per se. But he's like, no, if it's pinned on the wheel and you're going forward, that's control.
Yeah.
Wow, gets the goal, and they needed that. 21-17, 3:10 left to go here in the first half. Mercury in the red jerseys leading Team X in the gray. Reach there. Chet Miller has a smile on his face, saying, you got to be kidding me.
They're just trying to do whatever they can to bring that lead down if they can.
Now, that's one thing I didn't ask. So on the jump ball, though, where I get confused is I know if it's in the cylinder and I touch you, then that's a penalty. But if you get the ball, it's not?
As far as?
Or like creating a jump ball.
Okay.
Because he's reaching in, he got the foul there. But
you have to make contact with the ball and the ball alone. Now,
so even if you're holding it in your lap and I make contact with the ball.
If I reach into your lap and only touch the ball, none of you.
Okay.
Then it's a jump ball. Now you'll see guys try to cover it up after that, but it's kind of ref's choice at that point. Sometimes they'll call a foul. Sometimes if your hand goes on top of theirs, you may get the foul.
So,
or they just call the jump.
Thing 1,000,001 maybe to remember is if when you have it before, I know you have to dribble, obviously 10 without dribbling too, but if you have the hand at an angle, because if they come in, there's no way they're getting their hand on the ball.
Yeah, it's you know, you get your chin down on it, you get your hand on it, you just try to cover the ball up however you can. And
Scott got across half court just doing that. I like that, your chin on the ball, anything to cover.
I use my chin on the ball all the time because you got to have your hands for pushing still. And so if you're going into traffic, just duck that chin down on the ball. And you'll see Chris do it quite a bit. Chris likes to do it too.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's another thing. Yeah, everybody's helping everybody out, but some like to hide their tricks. But you play against each other enough, watch a little video, and you're like, I can pick something up there. Nice. As Brett Smith gets it to Chris Hall, and he'll score, making it 22-18 though. 2:19 left to go in the second. And again, both, and even you mentioned how you manage your subs.
Yeah, it makes.
Oh, look at that, nice pass. Can he get it to
Mike?
Oh, he's trying to. Oh well.
Chris got there in time, and
even if he catches it, he bumps him right out of bounds too.
Yeah, it would have been better for Chet to have blocked up Chris and given Mike a shot at that ball instead of pushing down for the ball himself there.
Yeah. And again, like you said, guys not used to playing with each other, but after a few years, with the communication part, not always everything becoming second nature, rules, everything like that, and again, getting comfortable as possible in the chairs, and some guys sitting a little higher up, some sitting lower.
You got a meter violation here.
Oh.
Chris pushed Steve the Pirate Bartles here into pushed him into the meter rule.
The second Pirate here.
Second Pirate.
Our director, he's a big Pirate guy. As Mason throwing the ball over to you. Look at that. See, he's smiling. Coaching over there. See, look at that. He gets the ball over here. 13-year Air Force vet. Jesse Graham joining me, bronze medalist here in the quad rugby. So you did swimming, you did quad rugby, obviously swimming, and you said track and field as well?
Track and field, and then the wheelchair obstacle course slalom.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did do slalom. I was over there. Yeah, I was over there the other day watching. Yeah, man, we were at Super G today. First timer won it.
Nice.
Tim Connor. It was the #1 seed, had the highest qualifying time, and so it's bracket style, as you can see on my sheet here.
Man,
so you had to go through it 3 times.
I'm looking at the Super G time right there.
You had to go through it 3 times, and after each round, they changed it. There were a few changes to the course.
Man,
so yeah, and he got
right
through 2:19, and he beat Terry Rock, the 14th time in the Super G, and it was close. But Connor wins it in his first. I said, man, now you really put a bullseye on your back, because everybody's even expect you to win it every year now.
Ooh, Gray's in a predicament here.
And they got 2 in the penalty. I heard the whistle blow the second time. I thought it was just a turnover, but.
Well, Chet was, I believe, in the box when Chris pushed Bartles in.
Oh, that's right, because he put it's a penalty. So that's right. So
he got 2 in the box right there, and that's at this point, Gray is just gonna basically stay out of the way, let them burn the clock, and so you do not want to do anything. Logan needs to be careful here.
Right. Just kind of say hi.
Stay out of that key, and he's being smart about it.
Right.
Chris is just going to use all that
the shot
time.
clock. Yep, at 1 he goes over. But yeah, so now, but Chet's still in the box because it's a minute for the reach in. But why does Bartles get to get out then?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I would have thought Chet was the first one out. I think Chet's discussing it with the ref right now, trying to figure out why.
Trying to get a 2.
And now you're going to see Chris kill some clock again.
But you won't want to burn a timeout there, obviously, being short-handed. I know the turnover's not good.
Now, right there, you just want to get it in, and just the only goal is make it across half court at that point.
Right. Well, Chris scores again, so that little 2-man advantage paid off quite well. They get 2 more goals, and they're up 24.
You can't let Gray get a quick goal here, because that allows some time on the clock for them to get last goal. So,
in the 38th edition of the National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America, First Nation sponsor of rugby, quad rugby. Jesse Graham joining me, and Michael Caratino, our entire Floodstream crew, as Chet Miller, gets the inbounds. Nice cut there as, Terrence Smith now back in the game. Gets across half court, takes a dribble. Terrence trying to swat it away. Be reminded, don't reach. Oh, and look at Scott. He gets away from Chris. Oh, Chris with the nice
defense there.
Oh!
Did he get it?
Oh, no, almost. He got free, and that extra hop that the chair took, it was just enough hesitation for him not to be able to catch up to the ball.
And again, you're going to see Red here slow it down, try to get in for that last goal. And
as we see in the replay, oh, and the bump just got him. What perfect timing there by Chris. Not perfect for Scott, but
no, but it's great defense right there. I mean, that's everything Chris could do, and it worked out in his favor.
Mike is slowing Chris down there a little bit, but you're right, he's not in a shot clock off anyway, so to get the last goal. But the possession arrow is with the with Team X. Scott trying to cut Chris off, but Chris all able to get in. Well, 4 seconds
pushing
left.
Down here, hoping for a deep ball from Scott.
Oh, it is deep. Side bounce. Oh, but right to Terrence Smitty. And he'll just hold on to it as we go to halftime, 25-18. So they got, well, we'll see the substitutions.
I'm sure you'll see Gray make up a little bit of this deficit in the second half as they bring Foley back in with Scott here.
Well, yeah, he sat out that second quarter, so I think Michael got all his minutes, like pretty much the whole second quarter. So, yeah, Bully will come back in, and Scott might get the third quarter off, but they'll be playing together again in the fourth quarter. So, again, if they can trim the lead, like you said, is huge. Jesse and I are going to step aside, but you are watching the 38th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games here from the Orange County Convention Center, Orlando, Florida. Such gracious hosts of this game. First Nation sponsoring Quad Rugby, 25-18. Mercury in the red jerseys leading over Team X in the gray jerseys. We'll step aside with the second half of the gold medal match in Quad Rugby coming up. Back here at the Orange County Convention Center here in Orlando, Florida, hosting the 38th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America. And First Nation, the event sponsor here of Quad Rugby. And don't forget, this week's live streams are brought to you by USAA, the official media and technology sponsor of 38th National Veterans Wheelchair Games. So we went to the bullpen a little bit. Jesse Graham, gave us the first half. He's checking out. Now we got a teammate of his, Sheldon Link, bronze medalist. Congratulations, obviously, on Jesse's team. And man, that was a tough one. It was close, man. The Enterprise team made it interesting in the end.
They really did. They really did. Those are some good guys. I know a lot of them from around the region. You see them once or twice a year. So they're good guys.
Sheldon, Navy. But what did you see in the first half? I mean, obviously it's a 26-18 score. Red, again, able to pull away, had the two-man advantage. That was huge at that point.
There's a lot of reaching. That's the sport is they try to tell you, when you're in the back court, don't reach. Especially in the front court, don't reach. And you always have somebody in the penalty box reaching.
So now for Team X, that is Henry Sawyer in the game. So we have Henry Sawyer. We have number 4, Desmond Wilson, number 2. Scott Severin, number 1. And Chet Miller also in the game for Team X in the gray jerseys. Mercury in the red has Jeremiah Butler. Number 5, number 12 is Seth Thomas. Number 21, Joel Rodriguez. And yes, number 13, Chris Hall on the court. So 26-19 as Rodriguez will inbound. And gets it to Hall, and he's going to get down court. There's Chet Miller trying to say, let me get you into the cone, but this time he gets his wheels across.
Yeah, the low pointers do all the dirty work down low just so that guys like Chris can get the ball out the court without having to bump into team. This game like this, I know Jesse mentioned, I mean, just hitting another player is enough. They accumulate, they take energy away, and we want our high pointers to run into as less obstacles possible as they're trying to get half court.
Yeah, and Jesse's saying, man, one thing to get used to, because growing up playing sports, you thought, hey, you should, you got to share a ball. I mean, playing a team sport. But this, he's like, you hear, no, be selfish. You need the ball. Their job is to set screens.
Set screen, pick, keep their high pointers off of your high pointers. So they're good. Like I said, they get down court with the least amount of contact possible. They can serve energy and keep going for the rest of the game.
Inbound to Chet Miller, and he's able to get through. Scott Severin gets tied up as Henry Sawyer, though, in the trail position, but now he's just getting in the way as Chris knows Chet's they're down a little bit, but Chet deciding to, the strategy of taking time with substitutions and everything like that comes as a part of this too.
It's huge. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I was getting tired watching Scott that first half.
I said to yesterday at swimming, I was like, my goodness. I was like, your speed. I go, yeah, people think I'm a bigger guy. But yeah, but when you get going, and he was just blowing by people.
He's a load. We did our demo first day, and you had guys bouncing off him. They think they're gonna take him on. They're like, ping, 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 and he's a big guy. Glad
makes it a little tougher when he gives you that nice little bump. How you doing today, Sheldon? Right?
I'm glad to see him back though. I think he took like 2 years off, something like that. But it's good to see him back playing.
29-20. As Mercury up.
Opening up a little bit of lead here. Turnover.
Oh.
What they don't need.
Yes. Turnover. I learned that. Well, I knew that, but learned that yesterday because Ryan telling me, he's like, yeah, what usually happens after a turnover? Another turnover, because Jesse and I were talking about it. You're like, oh, you want to go, but it's like, hey, relax, reset.
Right.
Well, as Henry Sawyer gets to the ball.
Oh, listen to that.
And,
that's what you call the low point love right there. We're there to bother you and pester you, and every once in a while we'll get a little love with the ball.
Yeah. And yeah, I remember we were talking yesterday too, and Chris saying that, yeah, a lot of times you'll leave the low pointer open because they're the defensively thinking they can get back.
Right. And
Either
also
cause a turnover, get in the way.
And also a lot of them really can't handle the ball that well, so that pass has to be perfect.
Right.
And
right.
if it's not, they're not going to get there. So that's also in that whole selfish category. It's like you want to keep the ball. And so a lot of teams will do is they'll try to force you to have to pass to the low pointer.
Right.
Because they know they'll get a better chance for a turnover in that way.
And I know, especially the first day, everybody talking and you're warming up, seeing if it's better. Like I was saying to Jesse, a bounce pass to you, is it better if I bounce to you, bring it that way, or if they can handle a chest pass?
Exactly.
Well, look at Scott getting down the court. He's going to go. Well, Chris says, I'm not going to hit you. He goes in, making it 31-22 now.
See, that's one of the disadvantages. Disadvantages, I guess you want to call it. You know, even when you're playing on a team, you have to learn how to pass to your teammate.
Right, exactly.
Some people want the ball on the right, they want the ball on the left, they want it high, they want it low. And then you come here, and you have guys who play on different teams. You know, guys you've never met before. And sometimes guys play different roles on their team that they would ask them to play here. So it kind of just adds to the element that you see in the games. And it works out pretty well. These guys they do it long enough, you know.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Joining me, Michelle. How many games is this for you? Total years.
This is my third one. This is my third one.
Nice.
I finally decided to go to a Veterans game 3 years ago, and I was like, well, where's the games? It's like, it's in Utah.
Oh, Salt Lake City. And where do you live?
So I went Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you left the beach for where people on the West Coast like to go in the summer too, because Salt Lake, not too bad of an area.
It was a very, very nice area. The sponsorship games, the people that work at the volunteers, everything was just fantastic. I didn't have to carry my own luggage. I didn't have to move my own stuff back. The only thing I had to do was go check my chair out of the cage and back and forth to the court.
Right.
That was it.
There you go.
They took care of everything else. So it's my third year going strong. You know, I hope to keep doing it.
So what else were you involved in besides rugby?
Let's see. I did bocce. I don't know if anybody knows what that is with the balls. You know, you can roll it.
Nice. Oh, I'm Italian. I love bocce. You gotta love bocce.
I also did quad weightlifting.
Oh, nice. How'd you do?
Bench. I had about the same last year. I wasn't able to prep as much during the year because I have some issues with my right shoulder, and I have not seen an orthopedic as yet.
Come on now. I know you guys are tough, but come on now.
Well, no, it's not for lack of trying.
Gotcha.
So it's a potential I might end up having shoulder surgery at some point in the future, so I wasn't able to train as much.
Speaking of because I was talking to Gabe Diaz de Leon, and Ryan was, he had shoulder surgery pretty close to the games, and then he goes, he's not the same, but look at him setting the screens, and I could tell sometimes he was getting frustrated because you look at his face, but to come back that quick too.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's part of being, in a wheelchair. At some point you might need to have, and then you add after sports.
Oh yeah.
And the rough sport of that, so. I'm hoping to put it off until the end of next rugby season.
Okay. Because
when I went to get my forms filled out for this game, my doctor there looking at it and trying to tell me all the stuff. I said, but you understand, I'm playing at the vet game.
Yeah.
So
I respect everything you're saying, but you need to hear me right now.
Right. Yeah. I hear you. I'll take the test. I'll do the X-rays. I'll do that stuff. But you're signing that form for me to go play in the veterans games.
Navy vet Sheldon Lane. So. Bocce. One of my uncles actually in New Jersey. They cut a court out in the backyard.
Really?
So I'm sure you can imagine. There's been a few late nights leading to early mornings playing bocce. It's addicting once you get playing because people it's like playing shuffleboard in I'm not on a ship. I'm talking in a bar. I'm like, oh, it's so dumb. But I played shuffleboard one time. We were where we were, and I can imagine that obviously it's like this. Once you're able to start playing quad rugby, you don't want to stop, like you said.
Absolutely. There was a couple of years where I didn't play because our team that we had in Virginia kind of dissolved a little bit. So I now play with some guys out of Raleigh.
Okay.
I drive 3 hours to go to practice on Saturdays. And
look at that. Again, you guys never take no for an answer.
No,
that's what I love.
Rugby is exciting.
Well, I was teasing Ryan last year, too, and I know I've said this probably too many times in the live stream, but my favorite line in Transformers, the first one, is when Josh Jamel slams John Turturro down, and John Voight looks at him and goes, I would tell him what he wants to know because these boys are trained not to lose. And you guys have that attitude. And again, I could say it a million times, but I love it because it is true. Look at that. Gray making or Team X, making a little run right now.
Yeah.
As Again, substitution in the game. Paul Mann back in the game. Scott just looks at Chris, and now he goes across the line again, cutting the lead, trying to make it close, but not giving, like you said, Red too much of a chance to score. Ooh, somebody lifted the elbow. Oh, but they're going to call it on Shed.
Yeah.
Chris lifted. But again, it's a reality. That's what I'm saying to Jesse. It's human nature, Sheldon. Like, if you, I understand.
Yes,
it goes on, you can put your arm out, you just can't lift it. But I said, it's human nature. If you see something, it's a reflex.
Because everybody thinks they can get that jump.
Exactly.
Everybody in their mind, you're thinking, I can get that jump. But you don't want to, especially in the backcourt, because if you end up down a man or if you end up turning the ball over, then, like you see there's 3 guys out there now. All right? You lose a player, now they're inbounding it, and it's that much easier for them to score.
Well, now Scott Sever getting a well-deserved break as the bully checks back in, though, with the other high pointer back in there. So it's 32-25 as he is going to, again, with the penalty, tries to stop the pass. But Smitty's down there, and that's what I was saying, too. I can't believe he's over 50. And Graham's like, he's 58. And I was like, when I heard that the other day, I go, come on, that's a joke. Yeah, no, he's 58.
I don't know if he's 50. Oh,
well, Graham said, well, he's over 50.
He's over. I think he's over 50 because he's my teammate. He plays out of Raleigh as well.
Okay. So you drive 3 hours. Now, are you playing back in Virginia now, or are you still going to Raleigh?
Still with Raleigh.
Nice, okay.
Still with Raleigh.
See, they're bringing in the ringer. That's how I look at it, bringing in the ringer. So 33-25. Checking the minutes, that's what I love. Everybody's got to have the 8.
Yeah.
And again, just, for the novices, I mean, when you're, like you said, your first year was in Salt Lake, and even talking to guys last year, the novices, a lot of times, the first years only want to maybe play one sport or nervous, but you guys, you're competitive, you want to win, but you're still out here helping each other out.
Right. It's still an instructional type thing, and it's still, about everyone participating. But at the end of the day, we still want to win.
Yeah, because I was even for the Enterprise team that you took on, and noticing, and I guess it's his second year, Lindstrom was telling me, but Josh Birch, I mean, even each game he looked more and more confident for them. And I mean, like you said, it's about getting in, playing, and the more reps you get. But I mean, come out and play in Kids Day is still my favorite. I love seeing it. I mean,
I missed that
the
this
kids
year.
out here. Yeah, I didn't get to see a ton of it. Last year we were set up and we had basketball, and it's as bad as Lindstrom scores there. But there was one kid, and I said it a few times, he had a Spider-Man helmet on, and he was going through it.
Really?
I know as guys were over there, like, it's tough. You don't want to pick a favorite kid, but he definitely had the personality. And it's just a relief for the parents, too, because unfortunately, if they're born with it, I mean, you guys obviously obtain these injuries, and that's obviously unfortunate. But, for parents, it just seemed like last year I noticed kind of the relief of, wow, there are adapters. They can be competitive like their friends, and seeing how you guys go at it, knowing that nobody's taking it easy on each other.
Right. Yeah. Well, in the league, you see a lot of different disabilities, and not just injured. People born with whatever they're born with, and they play too. And the Kids Day was really great last year. That I saw. Yeah, turnover. The red team.
Gosh. Look at that, Terrence Smith. Well, I'm not. Someone said the other day, said, oh yeah, he's an old man. I said, I will not put those words out of my mouth.
Oh, I call him old man all the time.
There you go.
As I'm chasing him down the court from behind.
That's what Jesse said too. It's like, wait, I'm barely ahead of him. But wait, why am I happy I'm barely ahead of him?
Well, no, I'm behind him, and so it's like.
The possession arrow is with
the red team.
Oh, no, it is with me. Oh, yeah, because it's going in that. Yeah, okay, gotcha. So, but again, they're just going to let Ryan take his time. They have the lead, so he takes the seconds off the clock. But again, like Chris said yesterday, playing the shot clock because you want to get if you can get that last shot and then have the possession arrow, that is a huge way to end and start the next quarter.
There you go, Smitty.
Almost got him into the cone, but Smitty had a nice enough angle there. As the bully couldn't run him down. Got his family here this year. Was able to meet 2 of his sisters and his brother. He did tell us on the airways the other day his 5-year-old niece nicknamed him Uncle Wheels. Kids keep it simple, but they definitely always entertain us, right?
They do. I met a couple of kids of mine. These twin boys at the gym I go to at home, and one morning their mom was taking them out, and I was coming in, and one of the little boys, twin boys, one of the boys said to me, he goes, "Are you on the potty?" Never heard that one before.
That's a good one.
But the kids, yeah, they do keep it simple.
You know, that's a question. There's a 12-second violation there, a little bit long on the inbounds. Chet Miller went across, but at the 12, yeah. And Ryan was telling me, you know, I'll see kids and they'll ask, he's like, "How do you sleep?" And, you know, in a bed. See me, I would have taken the comedic route, Sheldon. I would have said, "Oh, you know, I just kind of sit back in the chair and hang out." But no, it's again, yeah, if you don't ask, you don't know. But kids will definitely do that. Oh, nice job there by Paul Mann. As he makes it 37-28 with less than a minute to go here in the third quarter. Orlando, gracious host this year of the 38th edition of the National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America. First Nation sponsoring quad rugby, so glad they could be on board. Look at that, Chet Miller takes a dribble and a nice little guide to the goal line by Henry Sawyer.
Yeah, low pointer throwing him a screen.
And
inbound back.
And James Trozo back in the game for Mercury. 33 seconds left. They're making sure Chris Hull can go nowhere, but Terrence Smith sure can.
Yeah.
As he gets through
and that's the danger when a team like that, when you have two quality ball handlers with speed on them. It's like, pick your poison. You know?
Exactly.
Stop one guy, you got another one that's out there and take you apart.
It's Desmond Wilson also, Marine vet, number 2, is his third games. First year playing rugby though for number 2, Desmond Wilson. So again, a novice out there, but great to see him out there. Oh, 5 seconds left. Chet Miller gets stopped.
Leaving the court. Leaving off the court. What is that on?
Yeah, she gave the signal for leaving the court.
Let's see who that was on though.
That was the sign for leaving the court.
Yeah, it looked like it. Yeah.
Oh, it is Chris Hall.
Chris
so
Hall.
He was just taking his time. But
maybe he didn't get on the court enough time. I don't know. Because I think he inbounded the ball, so that's kind of strange.
Oh, look at that. Nice pass there to Chet Miller.
Look at that.
Yeah, solid pass by Henry Sawyer. Got the lean back and
pretty good.
1 second left, and yes, and there. Man's just going to hold it, but 38-30. They extend their lead a little bit, but Team X still in striking distance, Sheldon, right?
Yeah, anything can happen, you know. It's all about the turnovers you lost and the ones you got to get back. So they've been putting in strong defensive effort. So that's pretty much what's going to, if they're going to hopefully get back in this game, they're going to have to play strong defense.
So it looks like, Scott Severn will be back in, and Ryan Lindstrom, who came back in there, will stay in as well. But, man, 38-30, the gold medal match, sitting next to the bronze medalist from quad rugby, Sheldon Lane, Navy vet. Little weightlifting, little bocce. So now you got stuff to, well, I mean, you get a nice workout going back. The drive to Raleigh's probably not that bad, but after the workout or the practice and stuff, the drive back's got to be a little bit of a bummer, right?
Well, yeah, that's the issue, is like, because that's when the shoulder stuff starts really kicking in, because I'm right-handed and it's my right shoulder, so it's kind of hard to drive when your right arm doesn't want to go in certain places. But you know, it's what I got to do to play rugby, so it's what I do.
And again, the fact that you keep playing it. What about so with bocce and weightlifting next year? Thinking of maybe adding more sports. I'm not saying you should.
Well,
no.
Oh no, I actually those weren't my only ones. It's like rugby, bocce, weightlifting. I did bowling the first 2 years, and the bad thing is I switched to slalom this year for the first time, but I missed my slalom time.
Oh,
I somehow didn't put it on my schedule, and I completely missed, because that was, I don't know if they recorded those games. We had a double overtime game here.
Yes, I know.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I heard. Yes.
And after we were done, I was just like, I'm going back to my room. I'm going back to my room, and it wasn't on my schedule, so I forgot all about it. And I knew it was there. I just didn't know which day it was. And then the next morning, I woke up and trying to figure out like where my schedule was going to be. I was like, missed slalom yesterday. So I missed my slalom time, but you know, I'll get it next year.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we did the Super G this morning, and
Oh,
again, congratulations
those
to
guys. They
Tim
hats
Connor.
off to 'em.
Yeah, and they as you can see, I was showing Jen,
Yeah.
they did a bracket style.
They
so you
changed
go
the
through the
format
course
this
3
year.
times
Yeah.
to win it, and each round there was changes,
They
a little
changed
bit
the
changes
course.
to the course. Not fully because not enough time to do that.
Well,
Obviously,
yeah, but that's still a huge change.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing when the guys go through it one time for, you know, time.
Right.
And you have to do 3 different, you know.
So you go head to head, so you want a fast time, but also now it's a mirror course, so you can look and see where he is. But his first year doing it, he went against Terry Rock, his 14th time doing it, and he wins the Hayes Little Trophy, but 219.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
third time through.
Yeah. Those guys, I said, hats off to them.
Well, we get back to the fourth quarter now, 38-30, as Chris Hall, he's in possession.
See?
And they
Made
pushed
him leave the court.
Yep.
Push Jeremiah out back the goal line.
So Jeremiah Butler, Chris Hall, Joel Rodriguez, and number 10, Davis Celestine on the court for the Mercury team. For Team X, we have Ryan Lindstrom, Scott Severn, Henry Sawyer, and Chet Miller, as Lindstrom getting ahead of Joel, who's been staying far enough away from the cone to not get bumped into it. Like I was saying to Jesse, you do all that work, Sheldon, and a little too close to the cone, you get that bump and you hit it.
Oh, yeah.
No goal, and you did all that work.
And some of these guys will bait you. They'll wait, and especially even at the half court, because you get over and back.
Yep.
So if they're anywhere near you, they'll try to hit you at that line, because any movement back, it's a turnover.
Yep.
All those little things are turnovers.
Yes, the baiting is definitely one of those.
See, if they want to get back in this, the next team is going to have to get these turnovers here, deny them a chance to inbound. Well, got the ball in. Hit him. There you go.
Oh, knocked away, but
Still red.
nice play there. He put it out of the cylinder, and the quick reflexes by Chet Miller there.
You're going to have to get some 12-second, and maybe some 10-second no dribble to get the game back.
Oh, and it's a turnover.
Oh, missed that one.
Wow, 38-32.
There you go.
On the inbound.
There you go.
Is that a thing too, real quick? Is it a little bit tougher, obviously angle-wise, to inbound on the sideline or
It
from the back
depends
line?
on whether or not they get them bunched up. You don't want to inbound from the corner or the sideline. You want to get it in from the baseline and just go from that.
Well, look at that, back-to-back turnovers. He gets a
go,
bunch of
right
screens as the bully comes in along with Henry Sawyer.
Taking the bench timeout. Red we're going to regroup.
Just like we said, striking distance, Sheldon, is 5 points now, and we're not even a minute and a half in.
Defense.
So.
It's all about the defense at this point for the great team.
And everybody has their minutes, so it looks like these are the teams we're going to see for the fourth quarter of the matchup. So
grind it out.
Man, that is just, and it's funny because I've learned from even Noah Courier last year, because I went to shake his hand and I forgot when you guys get the sticky stuff. It's like, he's like, I'm sorry. I was like, nah, it's my fault. That was completely my fault.
Just make sure whenever you come around the rugby guys, make sure you carry around some hand sanitizer.
There you have some. I was telling Ryan before the game, it's that old school NFL picture too of like Mike Haynes kneeling on the sideline and you just see the stickum on his jersey. Have you ever seen that picture? You know
no, I don't think I've seen
it. But yeah, this obviously needed for the chairs as we see I didn't catch this. Joel Rodriguez, very solid inbound. And look, try to get
nice.
Look at the quick hands by Chet.
Yeah.
For Joel, not a bad spot to put it in.
What is this class? Chet.
Joel or Chet? Chet is a 1.
Wow.
That's what Jesse was saying. For a 1, Chet's got great hands, because you'll have ones that might have
hand speed,
better hands than 2s or 2.5s. It just depends. So 38-33 as we get back to action. 6.5 left to go here in the fourth quarter of this gold medal game. As Chris Hall says hello to Scott Severn. Enough time though. 17 on the shot clock as he'll take his time.
He set the screen.
He turns it up. And as he gets in, so making it 39-33. Yeah, he talked to me about it yesterday, slowing it. Again, I know you want to say, obviously, offensively, you can slow it down. Defensively, you're not slowing down. But that's when turnovers start to happen a little. Sometimes I think if you slow it down a little bit too much, even on one end of the court.
Yeah. I mean, it's something as simple as inbounding the ball. You know, that gets you in a lot of trouble.
That's Chet Miller. Again, having a one, taking the dribble with good hands like that can is not going to get trapped, like you were saying,
Yeah,
Sheldon.
and he's fast too,
team.
So that's a good aspect of it.
Oh,
he can really get down the court, so you want that. You know, if they're going to take away somebody else, you got Chet open, and he can get you, especially a 12-second, backcourt violation. That's your first thing, and he's going to give you that. That's good.
It's the same thing with Joel. He's a one, but the long pass there, he's got really good hands.
Right.
Gets caught up to and trapped, trying to force the jump ball. Playing the defense. Ooh, nice handoff there to Jeremiah Butler. Butler gets a screen, but Severin has other ideas. Ooh, and now Davis Celeste. Look at that.
Nice you lost it? Good defense.
So the turnover there.
See, now
substitution.
Their job, they're trying to keep the ball out of Chris's hands.
So, well,
Smitty's coming back on court.
Smitty's coming back in for Jeremiah Butler, as we see right there is Butler. Nice dribble and put it in front of Davis. Oh, and just off his hands. A little bit maybe too high of a bounce there for him. And again, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, a bounce pass, but how much to put on it. You got to get used to that. And like you said, not playing with these guys every week, practicing a few times a week, playing with them.
Right.
It's tough to get used to. But look at that. Severin to Chet Miller, and he goes across, making it 39-35.
You can play with guys for 5 years and still have issues sometimes, So
right.
It's, when you meet your teammates 3 or 4 days ago, they're doing pretty well. Put Smitty back in as a ball handler.
Well, and now Davis coming over to Scott. Oh! As Smitty scores, Davis, a little bit of a how you doing smile on your face. That was a big collision there.
That was big. But you notice you took the brunt end of that one, right?
Davis.
Two big guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
look at him up on the front wheels. Look at that. Keeps his balance, though. And he gets Smitty the goal, doing his job as the bully gets the ball. And look at that.
And there's Chet.
They're not trapping Chet. See that? Well, trick shot, quad rugby. I didn't know we were into that right now.
Hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky.
Yep, that's what I said to Jesse earlier. But Scott staying with the play there, helping his teammate out. Now the ball gets thrown down to Davis Celestine. That time he gets it, picks it up. It's Joel with a nice screen there. It's Chris Hall and staying low. Like Jesse said, he goes, I'll use my chin to cover the top up so they get the foul if they touch me.
Yeah.
Well, Smith turns away from Scotty Severin. Over to Joel Rodriguez. 2 on the shot clock. Oh.
Timeout. Red team, timeout.
Yeah, timeout. So now the shot clock will reset to 15.
15 seconds, yeah.
Nice defense there.
Timeout red. 15 seconds.
Still about 4 minutes left.
Yeah, it's the half court. Well, and then you can't be, not everybody can be inside the
you can only,
the
defensively, you can only have 3 players in the key at one time.
Gotcha.
And sometimes as an offensive tactic, when they come down, the guy on the outside of the key sets up too close to the line. All you got to do is hit him in. He goes to the penalty box. Now you're playing 4-on-3.
Yep.
Because that guy is going to be out there either chasing the ball or he's going to provide a barrier for your weak side of your key defense.
Right. See Mason Simons there coaching up the Mercury team. Jesse Graham took a break down helping out the Team X.
I love these guys coaching on the sidelines.
As Joel Rodriguez will now inbound.
That's the whole mentorship aspect of the game right there.
Yes. Oh, and look at that. Oh! Ooh, just got in inside the cone.
Yeah, well, as long as you get the 2 wheels over,
right,
you can hit the cone at that point. And it's like.
So Chris Hall putting his team back up by 5. You know, the the double overtime game you guys played against Team X, like you
crazy.
said.
It was crazy.
I was going to say, we could be headed to another one here. Not double, but maybe an overtime game. We'll see. Mercury's got that cushion, though. As Lindstrom with the ball gets the screen from Big Scott and takes a dribble and goes across. And that's big, too, because I was saying the other day, it's just getting trapped, but making sure, looking back, guys are getting set up before the inbound, but to keep moving, especially if you're on defense, guys like obviously Scott and Chris and Ryan, the high pointers that you want to get the ball, just keep moving. Don't let them.
Right.
Don't let them trap you.
That's part of the whole thing, is like transitioning from offense to defense. If you know who you're going to get and they know who they want to stop. And a lot of times, tell you, I know in our game, they're like, if we're scoring, then the guys who are playing defense get to their offensive guy.
Yes.
Stop them right at that point.
Yes. Two guys that know a lot about scoring, bumping right there. Scott Severin and Terrence Smith. Making it 42-38. 3:28 left to go.
Need a couple turnovers here.
Celestine with the ball, and Chet Miller not wanting to go into the penalty box, trying to force the jump ball. Shot ball, and pump fake there by Smitty, but Joel Rodriguez.
The outlet.
As he makes it a 5-point lead, but you're right, some turnovers going to have to happen.
That's happening. Get a bit of defense on the red team's inbound.
Ryan gets the ball here and telling Scott to go. And now, gets it up front to him. Look at that, stays calm. Gets a gets a bigger push there. 43-39.
He's definitely getting a workout today.
And Joel Rodriguez didn't see what he likes. Smartly takes, and you want to have the timeouts left in the, definitely in this fourth quarter, if you can.
Right.
You want to have them left.
And that's also a part of the strategy with denying them the inbound, is forcing them to take their timeouts early. So you get them to do that. Good.
Now, as we see Team X there getting some water, quick little quick breather, and they're within 4, 43-39. And First Nation, the event sponsor for Quad Rugby, as it comes to an end. These weeks fly by, man.
I couldn't believe it. I thought it's like, it's over already. But then it was kind of interesting because the tournament the whole thing kind of creeped up on me. It doesn't seem like that long ago we were in Cincinnati.
I know, exactly.
But I'll be in Kentucky next year, so I'm ready.
In Louisville. Hello, yes. I mean, yeah, it's not a, what? How long of that is a drive for you?
I don't remember. I've done it before because they've had the USQRA Nationals there.
Right.
I went there twice.
Oh, nice.
I think this might be a 7-hour drive.
Oh, okay. Not too bad.
Well, this was 11, so.
Right, so.
Piece of cake. Oh, there we go.
And back in the game is Brett Smith. He almost turned it over, but now we have to worry about the 12-second violation.
Now take another timeout.
Oh, wow, burning. Well, 2:47 left. You have him.
Yeah, see that thing, you have to have them. But those bounces, man, sometimes the bounces drive you crazy, you know?
Yes. Because just the angle, it's like for softball, too, talking to the guys. Jimmy Green sat with us, and even Mike Gilbert talking to him like, oh, as the ball's coming at him, why are some guys turning? He goes, because it's easier to angle your chair to scoop the ball to get the throw.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. And, yeah, we had some unbelievable plays, especially at shortstops, man. The shortstops. Booker T was looking, he was doing his best Ozzie Smith impression. He came out of his chair, and literally, like, went to his right and he slipped, and he falls out. But what does he do? The second he hits the ground, he was okay, thank goodness, but puts the ball up like this.
I got it.
The catch of the tournament for Booker T. And then Frank Johnson, obviously at shortstop, he was a vacuum, and I mean just all the shortstops. I mean But yeah, angling your chair just like in this.
There you go.
Scott caused a turnover.
Another timeout. What was that? The third one in less than a minute?
I thought that was their last.
It might be their last. If they don't
Timeout red, number 11.
That was their last timeout. So yeah, you're within 18 seconds.
Defense,
Sheldon, they've taken 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
And look at that. They don't even come to the bench. They're pulling the intimidating move. I used to have a coach say that. Be there, make sure you're waiting for them on the court when they come back out, or on the field, no matter what. Like, get out there first. Just kind of be, you know, especially in basketball, you know, they're feeling tired or anything like that. Just get out on the court a little, because you guys would never play mind games with each other. No little trash talking.
Nothing like that. Now, there's some guys just like hit you just to intimidate you. Like,
Looks like Ryan Lindstrom needs a equipment repair. And
it's interesting they'll set up in the key on this one. I mean, that pressure defense has been working for him. Hey, but I'll trust Ryan. He knows what he's doing.
I was just going to say, why not? I'm with you, though, man.
And then you're on your side of the court.
Right.
Take less time off the clock. But, hey, like I said, Ryan's a good player. I played with him before. I'll follow him.
And that, it's Chris Hall with 7 on the shot clock. Oh, gets it to Smith.
Yeah.
And Smitty able to cross right there. Well, got down court. 2:22 left. They're up by 5 now. And no more timeouts. So the pressure, if they can score, as it goes into Scott Severn. Ooh, nice screen there from Chet Miller. And now, oh, look at that. But the angle, as we were talking about Bateman, and he gets inside.
Yeah, but he's outweighed.
Yeah, I was going to say, the bigger, you just said, that's right, Sheldon, the bigger body helps her. Little lean over to absorb and keep going. So 44-40. Oh, and this time, Joel Rodriguez gets down court.
They were not ready for that one. You got to set up the defense. Oh, he didn't score.
Chet Miller comes over. Now Smith, but 20 seconds on the shot clock. So again, chewing time up in this gold medal match. As it goes to Joel Rodriguez, he gets across. And Team X takes a timeout. Bench timeout for Team X as they're down 45-41, 40 left to go. Championship Saturday here at the 38th National Veterans Wheelchair Games. Getting ready. Congratulations to Tim Connor, first year in the Super G, qualified with a time, I think, at 2:02 in the slalom in the Super G. His third run, third time doing it.
That was awesome.
2:19.
I think that's probably one of the best Super Gs I've seen. You know, I've only seen 3, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you, because even from last year where it was time and it was tough for watching it, but yeah, for Abby LaCoy, she designs the courses and to change. It was like the Wizard of Oz, Sheldon. I was calling it. Don't pay any attention to anything behind the curtain right now on the first heat as they went through it in the bracket. So he wins the gold medal there. We're getting close to crowning a gold medalist here. Whether it be Mercury in the red jerseys or X in the gray. As now Ryan Lindstrom going to go inbound the ball. Getting set, gets it to Chet Miller. Nice bounce pass. Little collision there, but gives it back to Ryan. You know he'll make some moves to get up court. It's Chris Hall trying to angle him towards the sideline, but up court is Sawyer. And Brett Smith went into Henry Sawyer. Help him right back up. Yeah, and all the guys that were in swimming yesterday. So you had the right idea, because it was a little warm out there, but even in between their events, they were just staying in the water. I'm like, yeah, the effort to get in and out of side, but to stay in the water. I wanted to be in the water broadcasting. We just didn't. We didn't get to bring our waterproof equipment, Sheldon. So I kind of would be pretty tough to do it in there. Back to action now, 45-40. And it's going to be
turnover.
A turnover. 112 left.
Oh, it's possible.
They got a little bit of work to do, but yes, again, the turnovers we saw yesterday in your game between Enterprise. Ooh, see what happens here as Henry Sawyer will inbound. Lindstrom calling for the ball as he gets it. Chet Miller's down court. And look at that.
Just like that.
Chris Hall's going to go to him, but Chet Miller, look at that, lets it come to him. And again, not letting the clock start, not till he touches it.
And
so
that's the
only
thing,
2 seconds went off the clock.
You wait to touch the ball, and the clock's going to start till they have possession. Yeah, we didn't do ourselves any favors that game with turnovers yesterday.
Yeah, I know you said that, but hey, you held on in the end. You scored enough to get that lead and to have that cushion. As Chris Hall will kind of take his time. Scott Severn will say, "You're going in right now," as he didn't take the bump from him. So Chris turns and goes in. 52.1 seconds left to go. As Ryan Lindstrom will inbound. Chet Miller comes back to it. Nice high bounce pass for Chet. Chet's got those longer arms too, which definitely helps. And gets it across court. Scott Severn trying to go them out of bounds, but look at that. Makes the turn as Brett Smith in position. Well, they're within 4, but the turnovers are getting more and more desperate here.
I think they're running out of time.
As Terrence Smith will inbound, an Army vet. Joel Rodriguez.
Just like that outlet pass.
Just gets it off too. It would have been an over and back.
Oh,
Just millimeters before the contact there, Sheldon. Oh, almost a turnover. No shot clock though, so they can just run it out.
Yeah, it's going to hold on to it.
Chris Hall coming across the court now. And they will hold on to a 4. Well, I was close. So, yes, going out of bounds. Well, that is it. They hold on for the gold medal, this Team Mercury. Woo. That second quarter, I guess, was a little bit of the difference with we talked about, Sheldon, playing in your subs and the lower point guys you see, but that second quarter just proves to be the difference because pretty even the third and the fourth.
Yeah, they just ran out of time. They looked like they were picking it up there in the beginning of the fourth quarter, but the red team, they have enough firepower and offense to go on. So.
All right, well, the teams are going to congratulate each other. We'll step aside real quick, but we're going to bring you the medal ceremony as Mercury wins, getting a big round of applause, 46-42 in the gold medal game over Team X. Sheldon and I will step aside real quick, but we will have the medal ceremony coming up here from the Orange County Convention Center here in Orlando, Florida, the host the 38th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys so much. Hey, Kelly.
Thanks so much for your help with the clinic. Really helpful.
And you guys did a great job. Nobody plays, this isn't a tournament. Nobody plays, this isn't a tournament. But, good, good.
Also, congratulations to the team.
Back here for the completion of the gold medal match in quad rugby. Team Mercury takes it 46-42 to bring home the gold medal. Quad rugby sponsored by First Nation. And the teams, well, again, meeting up. We're about to have the medal presentation. Bronze medalist here, Sheldon Lane, joining me, and well, his teammate Jesse Graham. Again, teammates. He did it in the first half. Pass it off to you in the second half. You guys did a great job. And see Chris Hull there again playing the full game, and he deserves the ice pack there.
Ice down, yeah.
Your thoughts from the game, though? I mean, how thought it would play? Obviously, Team X looking for revenge because Mercury had beat him the first day. But your thoughts how the game played out?
Yeah, I think there were some calls probably early in the game that did not go Team X's way. I think kind of set them down the path where they're on, and then getting turnovers. You know, those will kill you. But it was a really great game. You know, I think if you could get that out of these guys, you know, Chris, competitor. Smitty, like I said, I played with him.
Yeah.
Ryan, another competitor. Lockett, I met him 3 years ago in Utah.
Okay.
That's the first time meeting him, another competitor. And I know some of the guys, and actually, because I'm in the Virginia area, and some of these guys are in the Virginia area as well. So it's a really good game, really good game.
Yeah, it just came down again how you use your substitutions. Because like we were talking about throughout the game, I was talking with Jesse and Sheldon, and throughout the whole time we covered quad rugby, is that, again, the different classes, and you're going to put high pointers on there with low pointers to balance it out. But a team might, you know, be able to go on a little bit of a run, get a cushion, and again, that second quarter was just enough for Mercury to hold on.
Yeah, you want to get the lead, because that's the way we play in the league as well. You know, you put your starting lineup in, and their basic job is, you know, to get you enough of a lead. So if you do sub and you get down a couple points, you know, you're fine. You can always come back in at a later point, and there'll be high pointers going.
As the Ozzie Smith, the Wizard of Oz, the shortstop I'm telling you about, Booker T, as he comes over, he's getting ready for the gold medal basketball game we'll be playing him. We got to get some medal. We got to get some hardware handed out to these guys. You got your bronze medal. Yeah, where does that go when you get home? I know me. If I want a medal like that, I'd wear it around all the time. And people say that's terrible, but I'm like, I'd smile.
No, it's funny because I got my medals from my first game. First games I went to, and my second game. I have no idea where they are at all.
Oh no!
I have no idea. And then it's funny too because last year they mailed me a bronze medal because they thought I didn't get my medal. Oh. I'm like, they handed them out at the game. So I called them up. They're like, okay, well I guess you have 2 medals now. So I just gave that one to my niece. You know, so.
There, see, she was very happy about that. Yeah. Sure, that's show and tell. That's wearing it to school every day right there for me. Guys are going to get set up now, and Team X will be presented first, and again, got a lot of guys on the court. Again, the week flies by, but I mean, it flies by, but your body definitely knows it was a full week of competition, right? Me,
I was tired. Like every day I go back to my room thinking I'm just going to relax for a little bit. Next thing I know, I'm waking up, laying on the side of the bed and just kind of like slumped over there. It's
like a very cruel, not funny Groundhog Day. It's like, didn't I just go to bed and finish competition?
You got to get back. One thing I don't envy is the guys who play like the field events, stuff like that, because I guess it's like almost like an hour and a half ride to some of the venues that they have to go to. So if you have like an early time, you're getting up really early. Just get on a bus.
Oh yeah, we went out. Like I said, we were out of swimming yesterday, and that was a little bit of a drive from here, but not too bad. And in Oviedo, and it again, great facility there. But like I said, guys, man, I wanted to be in the pool too. I was a little jealous. So as they're going to get the ceremony started here, and again, the silver medals first for Team X. Well, you got the bronze, so next year I know we'll be playing in this game, right? Gold medal game.
Oddly enough, it was my 3rd bronze medal in 3 years. It was like bronze. I'm
okay. You never want to. You want to go up, but you never want to go backwards.
Absolutely,
so again, you're right there. So
you know, the thing is, our team, the Apollo, we were a really balanced team. Unfortunately, our 3 got sick.
Oh no!
And he didn't play at all. He was out the entire time. So
wow.
We roster-wise had
Jeff
the
Odom,
team to beat. Yeah,
right? Yeah.
The team to beat. But we went out there. We actually played against the red team and won our first game, which because we had really solid. And that's the thing about rugby. You want to have a balanced team. You need really solid low pointers to allow your high pointers to do what they
Right,
need to do.
right.
And I'll tell you, I think we probably had some of the best low pointers here this year.
Nice.
And we had
Yeah, no, you guys did. Yeah, you guys did. I mean, again, setting screens and everything.
So,
and
since we beat the red team, technically we should probably get a share of that
there you
gold
go.
medal too,
That's
so.
right. That is right. You can let them know afterwards. Be like, it should be a shared gold medal. I mean,
We beat them.
you guys found your stride, but we found our stride early.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's all about the balance. You got to get the rights of the guys out there to work together, and it's like defense, low pointers will get you.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
get you.
And again, Ryan talking about it yesterday. I mean, setting those screens is important.
It's very important.
Again, the non-glamorous job, but at the same time, it's huge for the team winning, getting those guys open and I see. I'm trying to get the teams to come back on the court. Team's coming back on the court now. Well, so we're going to send it over, get to listen to the medal ceremony live here.
Between Team X and Team Mercury. First, before we present the medals, I'd like everybody to give these athletes a huge round of applause. Well done, men. Well fought. And I know on behalf of First Nation Group, I think I speak for everybody here, we are huge fans of quad rugby now, from now on. Well done, guys. All right, we will announce the silver medal winners first. When I call your name, please come up to grab your medal here. Then you know the deal. Shake, take, salute, right down to the end of the line for some pictures. All right, number 13, Ryan Lindstrom. Well done, sir. Thank you, sir. Picture. Good deal. Well done, man. Number 1, Scott Severin. Number 3, Gerald Bartles.
You're everywhere, man.
Well done, sir. Yep. Number 12, Michael Luckick. Number 11, Chet Miller. Well done, sir. Sir. Show. Number 10, Robert Fectu. Number 4, Henry Sawyer. Number 2, Damon Wilson. And number 5, Edgar Machado. Well done, Nate. All right, another big hand for Team X, silver medal winners here. Team X, can you come up here? We'll do a group photo real quick.
Yeah, he was.
So the Team X gets their silver medals. They're going to take the team picture there. Again, great. I mean, you played against them, but your overall thoughts? I know the tough double overtime loss, but Team X and what they were able to accomplish.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was also a very good example of turnovers, because we lost the game because of turnovers. Late in the game, we were up, and we turned the ball over, not able to inbound. They pressured defense, and they were able to get the win from us.
And they come in with the silver medal, again, getting to know each other throughout the week, but it looks like it came together good. Just could not get you beat the Mercury team. They probably should have came and talked to you more, Sheldon, because 2 losses to the gold medal Mercury team that's going to be up there in a minute.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
Sometimes matchups just, in any sport, matchups just, it happens.
It's the thing. It's the matchups and you taking care of the ball. That's the 2 biggest things. You have to take care of the ball as a team, because if you don't.
And now your 2018 quad
take advantage of it,
rugby gold medalist.
All right, well, we're going to throw it back to the PA for the gold medal presentation for the Mercury team.
Number 5, Jeremiah Butler. Number 11, Terrence Smith. Number 4, Brett Smith. Number 3, Paul Mann. Number 10, Davis Celestine. Number 12, Seth Thomas. Double zero, Kara Combs. Number 1, James Ropp. And number 2, Joel Rodriguez. I'd like to also extend a thanks to our officials for the matches, for all games during the matches. Richard Tamelio to the main floor, please.
As we see Mercury, the gold medal winners, 46-42. They're the 2018 quad rugby champions. Sheldon, your thought of this team?
Well, great team. I say with the converse of the other team, they took care of the ball and they were able to cause turnovers and score off of those turnovers. So this is where I hope to be next year.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, they win the gold medal, and well, hey, as long as it's up for bronze or up, man, you set the bar. So bronze or up.
I got to move up. I got to move up.
He will be moving up. Well, again, thanks to First Nation for sponsoring quad rugby as they win the gold medal match. And 50-49, by the way, the score to your game in the bronze medal match. They held on by one as we see.
Yeah.
Team Mercury in there. Thank you so much for joining us. You can check out wheelchairgames.org/live-streaming for times and links to the rest of the live streams. Today, I'm Michael Caratanudo for Jesse Graham and Sheldon Lane, our entire crew. Thank you for joining us here at the 38th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America. Hey, don't go too far, though. We will have the gold medal basketball game coming up here on wheelchairgames.org. We will have the gold medal basketball game, but again, congratulations to, Team X for the silver medal, but the gold medal winners, Team Mercury, take it 46-42 as they are the quad rugby champions of the 38th National Veterans Wheelchair Games. We'll see you for basketball coming up here on wheelchairgames.org.